Hello, I'm Matt and welcome to Badger Workshop. I was having a bit of a sort out, came across all my shoe polishing stuff and decided it all needs to be kept in the same place. So I thought I'd make a tray to keep it all in, and I'm going to use some pallet wood. So first I broke down a couple of pallets. This breaking bar does a great job of getting most of the bits apart. There'll be a link to it down below under hand tools. I got all the obvious nails removed and then I used my metal detector to find the ones I'd missed. I can then use a punch to knock these nails through and get them all removed. I found the metal detector to be a worthwhile investment because I'm going to stick these all through the planer. And a metal nail hitting a planer blade is a timely and costly expense. So when I was confident I got them all removed, I could get all the pieces put through the planer just to clean them up a bit. If you like the more rustic look, you can just give them a sand, but this almost makes them look like new boards. I could have reset the machine up to get one edge planed, but I decided to be quicker just to use a hand plane. I then run all the pieces through the table saw and get the fourth edge cleaned up. So I'd drawn out this rough plan of what size the tray needed to be. I could use that to reference to mark my pieces and then get them cut to size on the miter saw. I want the tray to have a recess for the bottom to go in, so I'll lower the blade to the thickness of the material. Now I'm going to cut a slot. This mag switch magnetic jig is super handy for keeping the piece in position. With the upright cuts made, the bit goes through on its side, and there you can see a nice little recess for the base. I want some grooves for the internal dividers to slide into, so I can mark the position of them using my plans again. To cut them, I swap out the blade in the table saw to my 5mm grooving blade, which has got a nice flat tooth, so leaves a nice flat groove. Now I'm going to try out this new jig I got. This should make it easier to cut slots on the table saw. So first you need to set it to the curve of the blade. With that done, you lock one piece in place. Then you set it to the thickness of the material you want to go into the slot and get the second bit locked in place. Now I push the bit of wood I want to cut against the red mark and make a pass. I now put it against the silver bit and make another pass. Now I just need to remove any material between the two bits. So, moment of truth time. Does it work? It's snug, but that's pretty much perfect. Again, links down below to where you can get it from. So now I'm going to get it put together, and I'm just going to glue it together with simple butt joints. This won't be very strong, but I'm going to come back later and reinforce them. I get it clamped up and leave it to dry, and while I'm waiting, I can start work on making the base. So for the base, I've just got some more bits of the pallet wood that I'm going to get glued and clamped up into a panel. So I said I wanted to reinforce that butt joint, and I've been saving up offcuts of brass for the last year just for this purpose. I got them cut down to the same length and they're 5mm diameter. So I've got a 5mm drill bit and use this drill guide that a patron very kindly sent me after seeing me struggle to drill straight holes. So thank you very much, this makes life a lot easier. I mixed up a small batch of epoxy, got it spread out onto the dowels and then got them tapped into the holes. With the corners reinforced, I could get that panel for the base out of the clamps and cut down to the final size. Before getting it put together, I give everything a final sand down and sand those brass rods flush. I start by getting the base put in, so I get some glue put on the little groove I cut, then I can get it spread out and the base lowered into place. To secure it, I'm just going to use some little panel pins. I'd cut all the bits for the internal dividers, but they're too tall because of the base is in there now. So off camera, I'm going to rip down the table saw. Honestly, I didn't forget to film it. And then I'm going to put into place. I wanted the tray to have a couple of handles, so I got some more brass rod and marked out where I wanted a bend to go. I could then use my little metal bender to put a 90-degree bend on either end of these bars. So I'm going to install them on either end of the tray, and it's just the same process of putting the dowels in really. Mark out where I want them to go, and then use the jig to drill some straight holes. Then it's just mixing up some more epoxy, spreading it on, and getting them put into place. When the glue had dried, I could apply some finish. I'm going to use the same stuff I used a few weeks ago when I made that bin cupboard. And that's it all done. Everything's stored away neatly. Now I've got no excuse for having dirty shoes. Thanks for watching, thanks to my Patreons, and please subscribe for more videos.